Welcome into the first intermission report. Adam Pellerin, Billy Jaffe, Andy Brickley. 4-1 Panthers with a commanding lead after one period of play. And we talked about the Panthers and their run to a Stanley Cup and their ability to use the forecheck, especially in the series against the Bruins. And it looked like a continuation of last year's series.
Yeah, dominance for the most part. Best part about that first period, Brick, was the chicken parm sub that we had. By far, that was outstanding. Haven't had one in a while. Somehow, some way, the Bruins found themselves at 2-1 after that shorthanded goal by Zacha, and then literally inches away from tying it up moments later when Elias Lindholm's in front of the net, tries to kind of cross-check or bunt it back in. It doesn't. It's saved, and then all of a sudden, Florida took over again. But the key to that first period for Florida, absolute domination on the forecheck.
Yeah, they talked about weathering the first 10 minutes with the emotion, with the banner raising and everything, Stanley Cup, all that, the full building, excitement, Panthers, Bruins, opening night. They couldn't weather the first 10 minutes. They get down 2-0. Then they have the shorthanded goal by Zach, and you're thinking, all right, maybe the Bruins can start to find their skating game here, because to that point they had looked really slow. In between, couldn't win foot races, couldn't win puck battles, couldn't dominate in front of their own net. I mean, look at how close to the net the goals were scored in that first period. You feel bad for the Bruin goaltender, Korpisalo, because this is not the way he wants to start his season with the Boston Bruins, coming over and coming off the year he had with Ottawa a year ago. And then we thought about that first game that we watched before the Bruins-Panthers, right? Seattle up 2-0. They look like the dominant team. We come out to do the pregame show, go back in, St. Louis wins 3-2. So at that point, after the Zacha shorthanded goal, I'm feeling good about where the Bruins are at that juncture. And then it's the core guys that step up for Florida with two unbelievable goals.
Sam Bennett with the first goal of the game, Sam Bennett with the last goal of the first period. Both goals scored about a minute apart.
Yeah, and he gets himself to the front of the net. It's such simple hockey. They get pucks deep. A lot of times they'll use the rim play in the offensive zone back to the point. We saw the quick shot, no hesitation from the right point, and there's battles in front. So, yeah, Bennett's there. But it's that Reinhart goal. That was an absolute killer. That one, the shorty, as he gets inside the triangle under the stick of McAvoy, he goes over it and then snipes it quickly. That, to me, is the killer of that first play.
Yeah, that goal killed it. I mean, you're on the power play, and you scored a shorthand. You got a good bounce off the puck bouncing off Barkov.
Yeah.
And then a beautiful shot. We talked about Zacha hitting the net more frequently this year. The kid's got skills. Mm-hmm. He can shoot the puck. Hit the net more often, he's going to score more goals. It's pretty logical. But, yeah, the Reinhart goal, to give that up, and that's probably your best defenseman that's being attacked on the outside. But it's Reinhart. We talked about him before. Guy can score goals. Proved it last year, did it again here tonight in the first period.
Yeah, we were on the 9th floor during the postseason. I feel like I asked you this question then. I just think it's worth a refresher course. I mean, you're dealing with the same type of thing with the forecheck of the Florida Panthers. How do you beat that?
Well, you got to get to the pucks quicker and make up your mind quicker. If you're not thinking the game fast and you're not skating fast, you're not going to beat the Florida Panthers on the forechecking game. They're all in. They're committed. Their body contact. Then you start to get a little frustrated. Didn't like the 2 penalties the Bruins took. I know you're trying to change the emotion of the game, but you're down 2-0. You really can't take penalties in those situations, and Florida has that ability to goad you into taking bad penalties at bad times. But the penalty kill gave you some life in that first period, and then the way the period finishes in the last couple minutes is just so disturbing.
I think the question people might ask is, do you have a goaltender change on the horizon? And I know you talked about Korpisalo and the way he played. A lot of those not his fault. But at the end of the day, you're down 4-1. And we've seen in the past where Jim Montgomery would try to give his team a little bit of a lift, maybe make a goaltender change at some point.
I mean, what does that do for Korpisalo? That's my only question.
Right.
I mean, would I like to see Jeremy Swayman get in there, get some reps? Absolutely. But this game isn't over yet.
No.
It's not over yet. Now, you can't lose your new goaltender in the first game by taking him out in the situation, I don't think. So I ride it for at least a little bit deeper into the hockey game.
I would absolutely keep him right now because it wasn't his fault. You had the one goal off the blocker. He didn't know where it was, but that was that quick shot from the point. Traffic in front of the net.
Oh, yeah.
Bruins got dominated. I mean, they did. Outside of 3 minutes of that first period, they got dominated in that period. And Korpisalo was good for the most part. And, come on. Let the guy stay in there at least for now. And, The other thing is, yes, Jeremy Swayman may want to get some time or reps, you say, as well to feel, but on the other hand, it's been a whirlwind couple of days for him, and I understand this doesn't feel good or look good right now, but maybe you got to take a deep breath. You got to say, let's ride this out as much as we can right here. Get back in the game. Win this period coming up. That's it. Win it by 1, maybe 2. If you can win it by 2 goals, then all of a sudden you're like, hey, holy smokes, we got a chance. I don't think you pull him right.
Is there anything Jim Montgomery does to try to give his team a jump start? Does he jumble the lines up a little bit? I know we're talking about period 1 of game 1, but you're down 4-1.
You show, if you're going to have video in between the first and second period, you show the 3 goals that were scored from the blue crease in, and you say, we can't allow this to happen. We got to do a better job of cleaning up in front of our own net. Luostarinen's goal was short range. Both of Bennett's were short range. The only one that came from distance, if you want to call it distance, from the dot, was Reinhardt's.
Pavel Zacha, the bright spot in this one, the shorthanded goal. He scored the last goal of the season for the Bruins in the playoffs, scores the first goal of the regular season for the black and gold. Here's a breakdown.
Yeah, and this is what Rick was talking about. There was a turnover, accidental. It hit Barkov, and it goes perfectly to Lindholm, who disappeared there. But trust me, he was there before. He had the puck in the mid-slot area. And because, some people say, well, why is he moving the puck from there? And I don't know if we can go back to it or not. But he's going to feel a little bit of pressure, and he knows that Zacha's coming in with a little more speed, and he's got a little more room. And he's on his strong side, and he gives him the puck. Here we go again. So the puck, pretend that there's a Barkov there. Lindholm gets it. Now he's coming to the middle, but he's going to be sealed by the D. Zacha's has at that top of the circle brick. Zacha's got a couple of strides. He takes it, and as you said, the release was spectacular.
Yeah, the play actually started in an offensive zone faceoff, and the Bruins actually won that draw shorthanded, and McAvoy pulled it out of the zone. So now it's in center ice, and Lindholm and Zacha do the right thing. They come back, they clear the zone, they generate a little speed, they get a good bounce off clearing, if you want to call it that, but everybody's doing the right thing, and now you got a little momentum coming across the blue line. All Florida can do is back up and be a little bit on their heels, and that's a great time to shoot the puck.
And that was the only time, really, Florida was on their heels that entire first period, unfortunately for the Bruins, down 4-1 after 1 period of play. As we take a look at the game summary, Bruins down 4-1, outshot by the Panthers 17-11, but I believe it was 12-1 at one point. So the Bruins making up some ground there. You see the hits are even. Bruins, the Panthers, I should say, with the advantage in the face-off circle. As we look ahead to period number 2, I think we covered a little bit in terms of how the Bruins get back in the game. 2
things for me. You got to pick up your pace. You're not fast enough. You're in exhibition game skating mode. It's got to be more urgent and think faster, skate faster, and you got to clean up in front of your net.
And be smart. He said it too. Be smart, all right? Don't go running after Sam Bennett again. Just go play right now. Even though your penalty kill's been good overall, even last year against Florida's power play, right?
Right.
Don't keep giving them those opportunities.
All right, thanks for watching the first intermission report, either on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Join us for the second intermission report. But until then, enjoy the second period as the Bruins look to get back in this one.